Okay, on your screen right now, we have Eric Glick. Can I do that? Sure.
Thanks, Scott.
On your screen right now is Eric Glick. Eric is from the Glick Law Firm, and he joins us right now on Civic Center TV. What are you trying to tell me?
I'm trying to say.
Oh, I got to hit that button there. Okay, thank you. Don't hang on a minute. Hey, Eric, you're going to have to wait a second. I got to show people on TV. See, he came over and he touched my mouse.
No, and I'm a horrible.
So, consistent with all the rules and everything, I've got to wipe my mouse now.
It's a Corona foul right there.
That was definitely
a
Corona foul. Thank you for being patient, Jim. Thanks for putting up with all that. And we see you now. Welcome to the MegaCast. Welcome back.
Are you talking to me, Dave?
I am. Now I'm talking to you. Welcome back. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. So we had you on the air the other day. Eric Glick is with the Glick Law Firm, and he is an attorney that deals with probate, estate planning, asset protection, and much more, all kinds of commercial litigation. And you were telling us on the show the other day that you couldn't execute documents because they had to be signed the old traditional way. And it was putting some of your clients at risk because the documents that you're trying to complete couldn't be done in accordance with the law, correct?
That's right. And I was thinking of making a joke and saying it seems like just yesterday we were talking about this when actually it was 2 days ago. But yeah, that same evening at about 8 o'clock Wednesday night, Governor Whitmer signed a new order suspending those hurdles or those restrictions we had against remotely witnessing and notarizing estate plan documents. And so that's Executive Order 2020-41. And it takes care of these things. Now, it's not the easiest thing in the world to comply with. There's a lot of new requirements that have to be met to ensure that, that people are competent to sign and that signatures are actually theirs, and there's time constraints. And the clients have to be a little bit technologically savvy, not all that much, but they have to at least have a computer or some way to do this. And I was actually experimenting with it just now because these two-way interactive video conferencing have to be able to be recorded, and they've got to be retained for 3 years. And it looks like recording it isn't as easy as I was hoping.
It's like these meetings. We do municipal meetings here, Eric Glick, and it's taken everyone. And you've seen the articles in the Detroit newspapers, and we've talked about it as well. You've seen all this, and it's not easy to make all this stuff work each and every time. We know it, but a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, it gets easier.
Right, and at least there's a safety valve now. So we literally can do things and stay home, self-quarantine, stay safe, and we can have a client in their home. We can have me as the attorney in my home. I'm also a notary. We can have witnesses from 2 other locations. We can have 4 or 5 people remote in. Now so procedurally, I suppose if a client really has technology, I can actually email documents to them to have them print out.
Well, and I understand this is not the sexiest story in the world, and we're talking about, minutia between lawyers and everything, but here's the reason why I wanted to get back to you. First of all, thank you for your efforts and your very kind note you sent. But but what I think is really cool is that, look, we are going to have some challenging times ahead of us. We're going to figure out, when to restrict people, when to let them do their thing. How do you do that? How do we get back in business? How do we open things up? And yet at the same time, make sure we're doing everything we can to prevent further health problems. And it is not going to be easy. So when we see logic being applied during this process, like making it easy to make a legal document happen so you can do a probate matter, when right now we got a lot of people that are probably working on things like that in estate planning because it's just the kind of thing that would come up now. It just makes me feel better than looking at a situation where, I can cut my own grass, but I can't have somebody else cut my grass. So, the fact that this is pretty well under control makes me very happy. Makes me feel better.
Yeah, we saw, a new order come out on that too. That was Executive Order number 42, I guess, that came out yesterday. Even restricting who can go, what you can do, and what can stay open at places like, home improvement stores. But yeah, it is. We do want to. Things are progressing. We do want to have some common sense move in there about, landscapers coming out and fertilizer people and stump grinders. But things are progressing, and I just wanted to make you aware the State Bar of Michigan also instituted a couple of new programs that I'm involved in, and it's pro bono first responders helpline and a rapid response helpline. So it's attorneys who are volunteering to help first responders and get some necessary legal documents done for free, powers of attorney, patient advocate designations and wills. And there's a rapid response hotline as well for discounted legal services. So that's something that potentially your viewers could take advantage of.
So all they have to do they go to the Michigan Bar website to figure out how to find an attorney if you're a first responder and you need some of these things done, find somebody that can help you out, and it will be totally free. Is that correct?
That's exactly the way it works. It's run through the State Bar of Michigan's referral service. So if they go to the State Bar of Michigan's website, there'll be a link there for the referral service, and this will be one of the items on that list.
Eric, we're gonna let you go. Before I do, if you get in trouble, if you screw up, and we hope everyone follows the rules, but the rules are complicated right now, and it is easy to make an honest mistake. My guess is if you make an honest mistake and you're operating in some way you shouldn't be, or you go to the park and you do the wrong thing, or if you do something wrong, likely you're going to get a warning. You're not going to get thrown in jail for 10 years, but you might need a little bit of help. I assume you lawyers are going to be helping people sort through these things, and if people want to be very sure, businesses or individuals, hey, can this guy come cut my grass? Or, can I do this? Can I do that? Are lawyers helping people understand and how to interpret these things, and then there to help them, or can you weigh in on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I represent in my litigation practice and collection practice, I represent a lot of contractors, and they really have questions about whether they're an essential business. What does that mean? What does it mean to protect the infrastructure in terms of residential dwellings? So yeah, I help them interpret the executive orders that are coming down and the memorandums interpreting those. And with regard to these fines, I'm hearing about yard people who are getting fined. In the area we live in, there are a lot of people with lakes and boats, and I'm hearing about people installing docks and getting fined, people trying to deliver boats to someone's house, dropping it in the water, tying it up to the dock, never seeing a person, but they're still getting fined. So yeah, that'll be the.
I can understand how that can, under the current order. I mean, I don't think it's. If you got a company that's in the business of launching boats, I'm not so sure that's an essential operation. I don't want to dip my toe in that pond either. But my guess is that's not an essential activity.
I absolutely would agree with you.
Yeah, I can tell you that my boat is, I've been told by the company that takes care of my little puny boat that not to expect it until this thing is all under control. So, yeah, it's hard, though. I get it. It's hard. People want to get out in the water, and they want to get out on the golf course. And, I get it. But, just hang in there, folks.
Yep. Maybe I'll see you out there on the golf course one day, or the lake.
All right. Eric, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for your kind note, too. I really appreciate that. And anything else before we say so long?
No, I just appreciate you having me on, and anytime I can be of any assistance, I'm happy to do so.
All right. I'm convinced that the governor was watching our show, and that's why that executive order came in, because right after we were talking about it, boom, there it was.
Right. I believe that's also.
Yeah, thanks. All right. Tyler, well, there you go.